Hello everyone once again, and today I've learned the session 3 of the book Word Power Made Easy. And here I learned about a lot of new concepts and some root words as well. So I will be sharing you all those. And also I will try one new thing, and I will connect all the things that I've learned in this session in a story format so that I can also try to practice those words in general, how to pronounce and use that. So, you have heard about the word uh, ortho, like orthopedist. If anyone is a bone doctor, then those doctors are known as orthopedist. But have you heard about this word ortho? What does this ortho means? So, the word ortho means straight or to correct something. Ortho means to straight or to correct something. So if I'm saying orthopedist, then this means ortho, it means to straight up things. So the doctor tries to straight up the bone. Then there is orthodontist. Ortho means to strengthen things, and there is dentist. It is related to teeth. So orthodontists are a tool that is used to strengthen the teeth. For example, if someone's tooth is not aligned, so there are braces that arrives in the market. So you put on some braces that will try to align your tooth in a proper shape that it should be. Then there is orthodontia. So orthodontia, you can now understand this word orthodontia. Ortho means to strengthen thing, dontia means teeth. So strengthening our teeth is the process what we call orthodontia. Then there is orthopedic, which is related to bone. And why this orthopedist is related to bone but not the ortho means strengthening things. So pedist means the child, na? So why this orthopedic is related to correcting bones, but pedist pedia it means child. So in early days when this word was originated, at that time doctor used to use this word for treatment of children's bone. But now as the time changes, history changes, everything changes, but the uses of word stays the same. So that's why we are currently or at this point of time also using this word orthopedist for bone doctor. Now there is one more word that you have frequently used in your day-to-day life is cardiologist. So if you have any heart problem or anything related to chest or chest pain, then you contact to the the cardiologist. So what does this cardio means? So cardio means not the cardio not cardia. So cardia means heart, and in entire biology or in entire vocabulary or speaking sense, if you heard about this word cardia, it means heart or something that is related to heart. Now, if I talk of cardiologist, it means the doctor of the heart. If I talk of the cardiology, logy means study. So cardiology, study of the heart is cardiology. Then there is in the hospitals or the movies, you have seen about a device in which our heartbeat graph shown. The beat of the heart graph is shown in a computer like device. So that computer like device is known as the cardiogram, and the heart rates or the graph that is shown in that device is known as cardiograph, the heart graph of the heart. Cardiogram, the device in which measured heart is measured or recorded. And there are some other words. So if something that is related to our nervous system, neurons, so there is a word for that which is neuron, and neuron is something which is related to our nervous system or nerves, yes, nerves. And if there is someone who is the doctor of the nerves, then we call him as him or her. So we call that person as a neurologist. If someone is basically having some pain in its nerves or the nerves, then we call as neuralgia. So there is a suffix that is called algia, and that means pain. So if in any word you see the suffix algia, that means pain. So neuralgia, it means pain in the nerves. And there is one more word that is known as uh, inflammation, something that spread out, inflame. So that is neuratias, right? Neurit, neuritis. What is this? Neuritis. Yes, itis. Neuritis. It means the inflammation in the nerves. Then there are some person who is suffering from nerve diseases, some nerve diseases. Then those person is known as neurosis, or that type of condition is known as neurosis. And there are some person with this neurosis, then we see this person as neurotic, neurosis, neurotic. And one frequent word that you have seen in your day-to-day life is someone who is mad, so who has lost his mind, someone who has lost his its mind, then those type of person are psychic. So you, there is one word that is psyche, that means your mind or your soul, mind or soul. So the person who treats this mind, who is the mind doctor, then those person or the doctors are known as psychiatrists. And the study of the mind is known as psychiat- psychiatry. History, study of the past, history. Psychiatry, study of the psyche, mind is psychiatry. Then there are person, you have seen there are various types of person who are mentally not good. So those type of person are known as psychiatric, psychotic person who are mentally disturbed. And there is some kind of illusion in those person who does not be in the who has lost the reality of their, and those type of person suffer from a kind of loss from the reality, and that thing is known as the psychosis. And if there is some elderly person in your house, like your grandma and your grandfathers, and then for those person the doctors are specified, and those type of doctors who look after the elderly persons, then those types of doctor are known as geriatrician. So Geras, giras, it means old doctor, old age. And the doctors who treat these old age persons are known as geriatrician. And if I am treating some old person, then those persons are known as geriatics. So treatment of old person is geriatics. Now let's try to build up a story and try to recall all these words, so that we practice about the words that we have learned, and also we practice about framing some sentences out of those words and also use it. So let's imagine a situation. What could be the situation? Uh, okay, so let's suppose, let's start this story, not suppose. So, you know what? Today I visited a hospital, and in the hospital, I firstly visited a person who was suffering from heart disease. So I asked him, from where do you treat yourself from? So he said that there was a family member in my house. So he referred me to a cardiologist because I was having some heart pain in my chest, or the heart, there is pain in my chest. So I he referred me to go to a cardiologist. And what I saw around those person was there was some devices that was there in which his heart was measured. So that device is known as cardiogram, and the graph on those device which was showing is cardiograph. Now, upon talking with that patient for some time, I moved to another compartment where I saw a person whose bones were fractured, and he was having something plaster of Paris, some plaster that is wrapped in that person's leg. So I asked him, uh, what what is the doctor? What do you call that doctor who treats your bone if there is any problem in your bone or something related to that? So he tell me that if you have any problem related to the bone, you go to the orthopedist, and he also shared me some things that I still remember, and those things were, he said that when I was finding the meaning of this orthopedic, I discovered a new thing to look after things in a different perspective. He says me that ortho, you know what ortho means? Straight, or something that is correct. So if you see anything that has ortho in the beginning or in anywhere, so that means to straight or correct. And he introduced me some new words also. Those new words are orthodontic, means to strengthening our teeth, and orthodontia matlab strengthening the teeth. There is orthopedic, that is related to bone. After sending some goodbye to those person, I went to a peaceful and a silent room where a person was being treated, and he was sitting in a calm mind, and the doctor is trying to say some things to that person. And I asked the doctor, what do you call yourself? So he tell me that he is a neurologist, means he is a doctor of the nerves, and he has studied neurology to become the neurologist. So he has studied about the nerves, neurology, and there is this neurotic person who has some problem in his nerves or some mental condition that is being treated by this doctor. Then I started going to the another room where I saw that there is a person who was talking to himself and was chained with chain, and that person was has completely lost his mind. He was kind of scratching his own hands with its nails and all. So that person was psychic, means he has lost his mind, and the doctor who treats those person is psychiatrist, and that person is psychotic. It means he was mentally disturbed. And that day I have decided that, not decided, that day I realized that there is a lot of things that is going on in a hospital, and there are dedicated doctors for those things as well. Then I arrived my home and and uh, I saw my grandfather, and my grandfather was having some, basically my grandfather was having some cough. So I just Google it. If there is any elderly person in my house, then how should, to which kind of doctor I should refer to him. So the Google said me that if your grandfather is having some kind of problem and he is old, obviously, so you have to take him to the geriatrician. So geriac, it means old age, and trician means someone who is practicing this or the doctor of this old age person. So this was all from my side for today, and until then, bye bye. Keep learning and improving your vocabulary. I'm also doing the same and learning the journey. And one more thing that I have basically learned, and it says that, let me just read it out loud, because there are some days when you don't want to read, but you keep on moving, improving that. And this quote was also written in this book that says, there are many periods of difficulty, then is the time to exert the greatest self discipline, the most determined persistence. So I'm ending this video from this quote from the book itself. And until then, bye bye.